This video is going to talk about some of the ways I've been sexually discriminated against in my life. And there's only two that really come to mind. Well, obviously there's lots of them, but I'm going to mention two of them. These are two things that you can actually try and you'll verify what I'm saying is true. Okay, so one of them is going to be doctors. Based on what I've learned, there's no such thing that a female doctor, a general practitioner, will have a male patient. It just will never happen. And when I lived in New York City, I had an injury to my slip disc, and I had health insurance, and I didn't have a general practitioner or a doctor or anything like that. And I remember sort of a book in my hand that had just a list of doctors, and I started at the beginning. And at the beginning, it was alphabetical, so there were names like Adams and Abrams. And I would call the numbers, and sometimes you don't know if it's a man or a woman because you might not see the first name. It might just say Dr. Abrams or A. Abrams or something like that. And what I discovered is that if it was a female doctor, I was always told, she's not seeing new patients. We're going to refer you to another doctor, and it was always a man. And so I would say, they would say, which doctor do you want to speak to? I said, I don't have a doctor. Well, you have to tell me when. Okay, Dr. Abrams, So, so I thought that was weird, and I actually tested this out. So I started making lots of calls, and I was starting to only call for female doctors. And I was every single time I was told she's not seeing new patients, and they would refer me to a male doctor. And I firmly believe that this is a practice that female doctors have in the United States, which is sexism against men. So another thing is that every 2 weeks or every 3 to 4 weeks, I get a haircut, even though I haven't had one in a while. So you used to have barbershops, but then the business became a lot more female-oriented. The men now tend to go to salons, and all the employees are usually women. All the hairdressers, everyone who cuts hair are women. The people that work at the front desk are women. And you go, I don't know, 12 to 15 times a year. And what I noticed is that I was always being seated in the back of the salon, no matter how many people, because I'm not going to go when it's busy. I'm never going to go when it's busy. I know the hours when I'm not going to go at lunchtime, for example, and I'm not going to go after 5. I'm self-employed. I have that freedom to go when it's not busy. And every time they send me all the way to the back. And not only that, the people that were in the back were always the hairdressers that were fat and had dark hair, black hair, or brunette hair, the ugliest women. And so I would be walking past all these beautiful blonde women who would most of them would just ignore me. I kind of remember once a woman glancing at me, and I was like, these women aren't doing anything. How come is it that every time I come, I have to go all the way to the back? It's never a beautiful blonde woman. It's always the fat, dark-haired woman. I'm being discriminated against. And I would actually see other people come in and they would be assigned to one of these beautiful blonde women, but it was always a woman. It was never a man that would have that. And this went on for years, and it's absolutely true. And not only is it true, but if I switched salons, it would happen at the next salon. And if I switched salons, it would happen at the next salon. And if I was in different parts of the country, it would happen in different parts of the country. And I've heard other people talking about it on the internet. I'm not the only person who's noticed this. There's discrimination against men. This is absolute sexism. And of course, there's a lot more. But these are just two stories that came to my mind just now.